All right, hello everyone. Tyler King here with the Denver Gazette after Colorado's 49-24 win over Utah here at Folsom Field. It was sunny earlier, but it was a morning kickoff here, first morning kickoff of the season. We had a couple last season. We'll have another one for the season finale against Oklahoma State in a couple weeks. But chilly day here in Boulder, but good football weather and a good win for the Buffs. Another convincing, dominant performance on both sides of the ball. Even special teams had a great day today with. LeJontay Wester had a big punt return for a touchdown. I think they almost had a punt blocked. I mean, Colton Hood had a good kickoff return that set up a scoring drive. So a good all-around win for the Buffs, and one that obviously keeps them on pace to make the Big 12 title game. All they've got to do is win these final two games, and they will be in Dallas for that game, which we've talked about. You get there and you're 60 minutes away from the college football playoff, which stunning turnaround for Deion Sanders here in the second season, but one that they've earned with how well they've played here in the Big 12 and just taking advantage of maybe a not great conference, but they look like the best team in the not great conference, and you get rewarded for that at the end of the year if you're able to keep winning your games, which they've done now with 4 straight wins, and they'll look to make that 6 in these last 2 weeks to get to Dallas, like I said. For me personally, just kind of hard not to think about the game against Utah here 2 years ago, which was in the season finale of that terrible 1-11 season for the Buffs. Utah was a team that ended up making and winning the Pac-12 championship, making the Rose Bowl, and they won here 63-21 that day. And just kind of stunning to think about how quickly and how far this program has come in a short amount of time. We're the last 30 weeks of the regular season here 2 years later, not even 2 years later, and now Utah is the one kind of doing some soul searching as a program, where Colorado feels like they could be on a path toward the not just the Big 12 championship, but maybe the expanded 12-team playoff. So that's kind of what was on my mind today as CU pulled off this win. I mean, it wasn't an overly obviously the scoreboard shows a dominant performance, but CU's offense was disjointed at times. Deion Sanders threw a rare interception on the first play of the game, just a rare miss on a read by him, and that kind of said. But the defense was able to hold Utah to a field goal, and they had an otherwise pretty good day. But not a perfect performance, which they've mentioned multiple times, and they've talked about how, especially in these last 4 games that they've won, that they just feel like they still haven't put it together yet. But now it is the time to start putting it together. They can't keep talking about not putting it together. They've got to start doing it, especially with 2 weeks left in the regular season, like I said. So, it's definitely a win they're not going to complain about. Coach Prime even said after the game he thought Shedeur was just okay today, and he still ends up with 340 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. A couple Heisman moments today for Travis Hunter. He hit the Heisman pose a couple times. He had a deflected interception on a nice recovery play by Colton Hood, tipped it back up, and Travis Hunter was right there for it on defense. So his 3rd pick of the year. And then on offense, at the end of the game there, Travis Hunter gets his first career rushing touchdown on a play that was called Heisman. Charlie Offerdahl said after the game that play is called Heisman, and it was supposed to be a pass from Hunter to Shedeur Sanders on like a reverse play where Offerdahl pitched it to Hunter. So didn't work out the way they wanted to, but Travis Hunter is Travis Hunter, and he makes things happen, and he turned that into a touchdown at the end of the game. And I just want to hit on the defense a little bit too. Isaac Wilson, the Utah quarterback, obviously a true freshman, a young player, struggled at times outside of a couple drives where he was able to hit just some tight ends on some seam routes a couple times. Other than that, he really struggled, and CU's defense kind of had him in their grasp all day. I think they ended up with 4 sacks as a team, but plenty of QB hurries. A bunch of different defensive linemen were making plays. Arden Walker, BJ Green, Amari McNeil, Keaton Wade, even Quincy Wiggins, the prized LSU transfer who hasn't played a lot this year, got in at the end and made a pretty big play. Shiloh Sanders had a strip sack at the end of the game that kind of really put the nail in the coffin for Utah in the final minutes. It's just another dominant performance. Against a bad offense, yes, but Robert Livingston's defense continues to be the driving force in some of these wins. Like I said, even with the CU offense not clicking, especially there in that first half, the only offensive touchdown they had until the final minute was on a free play that Utah jumped off sides, and Shedeur just chucks it down the left sideline here to Will Shepherd, who goes up and makes the play. That was their only offensive touchdown to the final minute of the first half. So, like I said, far from perfect, but they'll take it right now, and they'll take as many wins as they can get, because just like I said, I think I said this a week ago in Lubbock. I said it a couple weeks ago in Tucson. feels like there's a special season brewing here in Boulder, and they've got two more regular season games to go out and win and prove why. So yeah, just stay tuned for all my coverage in Sunday's Denver Gazette. My colleague Mark Kisla will have a column on Travis Hunter and his Heisman campaign as well, which continues to burn on. It feels like he's almost a lock to get to New York at this point, but you can read his take on that at DenverGazette.com. I'll have a story on both the offensive and defensive performance as well, and make sure to check out my video from earlier from last night on Colorado State's border war win over Wyoming. That was a special win for that program too. And both teams are having great seasons. CU obviously is now at 8-2 on the year, and in second place in the Big 12, excuse me, while CSU is 7-3 and tied for first place in the Mountain West. So the two teams I cover are having pretty special seasons, and it's a stark contrast from what I saw in 2022 when they combined for 4 wins. So yeah, just stay tuned for all of my college football coverage at DenverGazette.com, and have a good day, everyone.